now it's time for the Coach Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control. The show is supported by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Subway, make it what you want. And AutoZone, from parts to helpful advice, AutoZone has everything you need to get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome in, everybody, to the very first Penny Hardaway television show. And, Coach, let me be the very first one to congratulate you. 2018 Memphian of the Year, presented by Memphis Magazine. Our friend Frank Murtaugh did that story. Congratulations. That's got to mean an awful lot.
Oh, it does. And I'm very appreciative to Memphis Magazine. That's an unbelievable honor. I don't do anything to get those type of, personally, to try to get those. I just try to do right by our city, and to be Memphian of the Year is I'm humbled by that award. You have done a lot of nice things by the city and by the university. I don't forget that it's called the Penny Hardaway Hall of Fame building on your donation for that too. So you've done an awful lot, and now you're learning an awful lot about being a head basketball coach. So when we first talked to you a little bit, you had an idea of what this job might be like. Now I know you know. So tell me, is it as much fun as you thought? What's the difference in going into it and now knowing what it's all about? Well, going into it, obviously you don't know what's going to happen. You can only guess. But now that I'm in the fire, it's just a challenge. You know, and I'm up to the challenge every night. I've gotten better as a coach every single game. The teams in the schedule that we played early, it's been a great schedule. Might be the top 5, top 10 in the country as far as the teams that we played. And after every game, win or loss, I've learned so much. So I'm in the fire now, and my juices are flowing, and the competitive nature is coming out.
Well, the competitive nature came out early when you signed that first class, and now we can officially say it because James Wiseman sent in the papers. Doc Holliday is going to have an interview with him a little bit later in this program. But talk about how you just secured the #1 player in the country. Yeah,
it was a blessing, and it was all about relationships. You know, with James, great kid. Moved to Memphis to play basketball at East High School, and when I went to the University of Memphis, just tried to keep the relationship going and recruiting him, and he decided to come, and I'm excited about it. It's huge, the #1 player in the country for our Tigers and our fans. It's great for our city as well.
And you restarted this relationship, really, to help him get better, and now, not knowing you'd be his college coach, it's a fantastic story. Here is what is coming up on the Penny Hardaway television show. We got all kinds of highlights from these first 7 games. You'll get a good look at that. The Cook's Pest Control Player of the Week, something a little bit new. The Toyota Inside Access is an interview with James Wiseman, and then the AutoZone road ahead. We got a couple of games, thank goodness, at home at FedEx Forum. All that coming your way next on The Penny Show.
You're watching the Coach Penny Hardaway Show.
7 games into the season. I know, Coach, you wanted it to be better than 3 and 4, but you talked about how tough this schedule really has been.
Yeah, I didn't imagine being 3 and 4, but we played this tough schedule to see where we were. Now that we see where we are as coaching staff, we see where we are as a team. The players see where they are right now after 7 games, and that's what I really wanted. I didn't want to come in and play a very easy schedule and then be fooled by anything. I wanted to play a tough schedule, and we're 3 and 4 from it, but I promise you, we've learned a lot from being 3 and 4.
Well, this is the very first game you came in. I think you were really excited, not nervous, but there were some butterflies, and then you got going. And this was a game. Kevin Davenport was terrific, career-high 30 in this game.
Yeah, Tennessee Tech was the first game. I wanted to see what the guys were going to do, how we were going to respond on executing on both ends of the floor. And, you know, Kevin Davenport came out, like you said. He and Jeremiah came out and had huge games, but Kevin with 30 and 10 in that first game was big for us.
This one, I know you get 76-61 victory. You mentioned Jeremiah. He had 18. He actually had a couple of blocks in this game. You had 14 steals, and this was a game where you pressed a lot.
Yeah, well, we wanted to get the tempo up. That was one of the games where we pressed an awful lot. I wanted to see what the guys were going to be in the positions. We're still working on that right now. We got to get that type of energy going again, but it has to be organized energy, and we've been working on that recently.
Davenport showing a game inside and outside. This is a talented kid, and we even got to see David Widget with a dunk here.
Yeah, David was just coming off an injury. First game for him, and he was excited to be out there. But like I said, Kevin is one of the toughest threes in the country. He just has to believe that, and I don't see anybody really guarding him. He can only stop himself, so need to get him back to this mode right now.
He's a guy you got to sort of stay on because he gave you energy. I remember last year, some games, he's the kind of kid you got to kind of push.
Yeah, Keevan is a guy that you have to push, and we're going to continue to push because we want him to be great. And if he plays well, you know, we feel like we win every game that he plays well. So he has that on his shoulders, and he has to accept the challenge.
Another young man, we just saw Antoine Jones. Here's another guy. Look at his physical skills. He's only going to get better.
Yeah, Antoine's only going to get better. He's right now struggling a little bit with the game plan and understanding what we're trying to do. But we're teaching him every day, so hopefully we can speed that process up.
And so that first one under your belt, you're 1-0, and I know you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I mean, you want to win the first home game. The crowd was phenomenal. We played a great first half, and then the second half kind of went sideways, but still finished strong at the very end and got the first victory.
Next game we take a look at, you've got a tough chore because I think LSU could be the best team in the SEC. I mean, you could look at Tennessee, you can look at Kentucky, you can look at Auburn. They got a lot of talent in that league. They're good, and you hung with them a long time in this game.
Yeah, the LSU game was one of those games where we felt like this was the biggest game of the season, on the road at a top 25 team, and wanted to see where we could play with them, actually. And we came out swinging. They got a lead right before the end of the first half, and then we came out in the second half and jumped on them and took the lead, and they just went nip and tuck from that point forward.
Tyler Harris really was good in this game too. 20 points, 6 out of 13 from three-point range.
Tyler's been phenomenal. That very first game, he didn't score, and he was a little embarrassed by that. And then going to LSU, I knew his juices were going to get to flowing because he's a competitor. And he came out and shot the ball really well and had a great game.
Also, Jeremiah, your senior, was pretty good here. 15 points, 3 assists against a good defensive team. He shot about 46%.
Yeah, Jeremiah being that senior, first game on the road at a very tough team's building, he wanted to be that leader, and he came out and was very successful that night. We just could not get over the hump. We got some self-inflicted wounds where we just kind of didn't take care of things that we should have taken care of, and they took advantage of it and made the plays to win that game.
Was this a hard team to press on that side of the ball?
Yeah, it was, because their guards were really good, veteran guards out there. They had one freshman, but they had 3 veteran guards that played a lot that game, that understood. And the little pressure that we did put on them, we did disrupt them, but we just couldn't take advantage of it on the other end.
I do remember after this game talking with Tyler, and I asked him, so what's your range? And he said, 45 to 50 feet.
Yeah, Tyler, he has the confidence. You can't break his confidence. He understands who he is and what he can do, and he's going out there and proving it every night.
Next up, a home game, and the Tigers haven't lost at home yet, and this was a contest, Penny, I think we'll remember for a long time to come. Double overtime with Yale. That's next on the Penny Hardaway Show.
You're watching the Coach Penny Hardaway Show.
So much excitement in the preseason. It carries over as we come back home at FedEx Forum for a game against Yale. And Penny, a lot of people don't realize the talent Yale had. 2 guys that were McDonald All-American nominees.
Yeah, a lot of people looked at Yale as that same team that was just a pass and cut and no athletes, a ton of athletes with that same motion, and those 2 players that played. Uni, and I forget the other kid's name right now, but as a full team, they were really in tune. They had just came off a game against University of California where they beat them by 25 points. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. The fans just didn't know it was going to be a tough game.
There's also, you might have seen the patch for Kareem Azad and the moment of silence. And I know your team has dedicated this year to Kareem.
Yeah, that was a tough moment for a lot of the guys that played with Kareem, and also for the coaching staff, knowing that a child, one of our former players, had just gone through that. And it was an emotional game for those guys that had played with Kareem, because they dedicated that game and this season to Kareem. We all did, but that Yale game was unbelievable. We were knocked out 2 or 3 times and just kept fighting. That was the spirit of Kareem in that building. And
Tyler Harris showing you what he told me. He can hit it from anywhere. He had 20 points in 22 in this game. Yeah, Tyler is proven to be who we knew he was going to be coming in. I call him a weapon. He's our weapon. He can get out there and fill it up in a heartbeat, and his range is unlimited. And we're definitely happy and blessed to have him. Kareem Bruton had a good game in this thing. You just saw an assist. He had 12.7 rebounds. That was one of 4 assists. And Martin was the leader here with 20 points and a team-high 5 assists. There was a lot of sharing going on, and this is the critical play. Time is over. He's got to hit 3 free throws. We're thinking of Darius Washington.
Yeah, I think a lot of people was thinking that, but I know Tyler Harris. You know, I remember the Darius Washington situation, and not taking anything away from D-Wash, but Tyler Harris, man, he spent so many hours in the gym making those free throws and putting himself in that situation, and I had all the confidence that he was going to make those 3.
And then we should point out Davenport hit a free throw to send us to the second overtime. Martin took over in that second overtime, and you win that game.
Yeah, it was a total team effort. I mean, the freshman came through with the free throws. The senior made one to, to take it to the next overtime, and then a senior took over the overtimes, the second overtime. So it's a total team effort.
You were in Orlando. Everything now it's 3-3. You go to play in Miami against a very good 19th-ranked Texas Tech team, and you hang with this ball club to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Texas Tech was one of the top 3 defensive teams in the country. They were holding people to like 51 points a game. We felt like we had the perfect game plan. It wasn't the first initial play. You had to go from one side to the other and get that defense moving, and then we had guys cutting to the basket. Plan worked to perfection for about 33, 34 minutes, and all of a sudden, within a 2 or 3 minute span, they jumped out. They jumped away on us, pushed away on us, got back into the game and pushed away on us, and we just could not get anything to go right for us in that little 3 minute span.
The thing most impressed me was the way you defended in this game, and you beat them on the boards.
Yeah, well, our defense was a product of what they do. We had an opportunity. We've been teaching this type of defense pretty much all season, but to see a team that does it, and they're known for it in the country, we're being one of the top 3 teams, we kind of mimicked what they did. It's the same thing that we wanted to do, and we told guys that this is exactly what we have to do and get into situations. We took like maybe 8 or 9 charges, had some situations there where we played really good defense, but then in that stretch, didn't play really good defense at all in that 2.5 minute stretch.
Yeah, here they come back and they take it lead. There's about 3:40 left in the ball game, and you could feel them really start to come on. What is your team learning about finishing games?
Well, looking at that film yesterday, we just went over that 2.5 minutes. On offense, we turned the ball over. On defense, we fouled and put them on the free throw line, and then we gave up layups. They didn't have to earn anything in that 2.5 minutes, so we know now that we have to get stops. We have to stay strong. Even if the offensive end isn't doing well, we still have to get stops on the other end.
It's all a learning process. You got a bunch of young guys. You say you're learning too, and I imagine your staff is learning how to all blend together as well.
Yeah, we are. And like I said before, I'm learning how to coach this team. You go the first 7 games and you play a good schedule, and you see what your guys can do and what they can't do, and then the coaching staff has to, develop things to get these guys in their positions and make them better.
I know you're very glad to coach this guy. The Cooks Pest Control Player of the Week is Jeremiah Martin, your senior, who is so clutch. I watched him take over so many games last year.
Yeah, Jeremiah is our leader. As he goes, we go. He's the emotional guy. He's our best guard defender, and we need him to score as well, and we're lucky to have him.
No doubt about that. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, it is time for a little Inside Access brought to you by Toyota. Our Doc Holliday will talk with the man, James Wiseman.
You're watching the Coach Penny Hardaway Show.
Time for a little Inside Access. It isn't every day that you sign the #1 high school player in the country, but Memphis did, and our Doc Holliday catches up with James Wiseman.
Right here with #1 high school basketball player in the nation, Mr. James Wiseman. Made a huge decision today, James. You're going to wear that blue and gray Memphis Tiger, man. Just tell me why you made it. I'm glad you made it, but why you made it?
Just like, it's a great feeling to be able, so when I went to Memphis Madness, it showed a lot of love and stuff like that, but not just that, just like the coaching staff, they got a lot of NBA experience on that staff, so for me to go there, it's a great feeling.
How's it feel to finally get this out of the way, man? Because I know it's been stressful for you, young fella.
It's a stress reliever, major stress reliever. I mean, like just sitting down in my room trying to think of the best option. So I finally was able to make the right decision. So, I mean, I'm happy right now.
Mom, Ms. Artis, how you feel? This is finally over.
I'm pleased with his decision. Like I told everybody, even when we was on your show, on the news, this was gonna be James' decision. So whatever James picked, I was gonna stand behind him. So this is what it is, and I'm glad he decided this, and we're gonna be happy with it and go Tigers.
Big sister, I mean, I know you happy as well because you already a Tiger, but you be defending your big brother to the end. What you supposed to do? But just how I feel to have this over.
It feels great. It feels good to have it over. He made a good decision. Like he said, this is what was meant for him, so he did what was right, and I'm excited.
Now, James, look, I gotta ask you, man, what's up with the unicorn? Your mama put that out. I like unicorn. She was like, yeah, he's a unicorn. We said unicorn army. What's up with the unicorn?
Oh, I was just being creative. It was something different, so I mean, I was just.
Unicorn what?
Oh, Unicorn fam. Shout out to Unicorn fam.
Just lastly, man, it's over. You're a Memphis Tiger. You can concentrate on this season, man. Happy again, right?
Mm-hmm. Happy again. So just looking forward to state championship this year, and go Tigers.
Anything you want to say to the Memphis Tigers, man?
Thank you for all your support, and I love y'all.
No doubt. James Wiseman, #1 high school basketball player in the nation. Oh, he's heading to Memphis. She's at Memphis, and they're going to be here. So mom's going to stay here, too. It's a Memphis Tiger.
Oh, what a lovely family. He's not the only #1 high school guy ever. You were the #1 guy. So let me ask you, has this guy got your skills?
Yeah, he has my skills, and he's about 4 inches, 5 inches taller than me. James is phenomenal. We got a great gift from God to have him sign here and stay home. And I'm really excited about him coming in next year.
We all can't wait to watch him play. In the meantime, there are a couple of games. The AutoZone Road Ahead is next. We talk about UAB and South Dakota State.
You're watching the Coach Penny Hardaway Show.
Oh, the AutoZone Road Ahead is home. Thank goodness. We got a couple of games here. You're 2-0 at FedEx Forum. What does that mean to you to be home?
It means a lot to me because even when I played as a player, we always wanted to protect home court. And our fans are the best fans in the world. They're phenomenal. We feed off that energy, and home court means a lot to me.
So the first game of the week will be tomorrow night on a game you can watch right here on CW30. Note the time. It's 8 o'clock. South Dakota State is in town. And let me tell you, they got a kid named Mike Dawn. He's 6'9". He is an All-American candidate. He was incredible in the NCAA tournament last year. They've been to 3 straight tournaments.
Yeah, this is a veteran team, and Mike Dawn is unreal. He has over 2,400 points right now, with the first part of the season only being played, and has the rest of the season to get to 3,000. I think he will. He has a couple games over 40 and 1 game over 50 in his college career.
Wow.
And like you said, they've been to the last 3 NCAA tournaments, so he's the best individual player that we played this year thus far, will be.
And who matches up with him?
Well, Ray Thornton is going to have the gift.
He's got the honor.
That gift, but we're figuring out how to cover as a team and help Ray. Ray's been doing a phenomenal job on the team's best big man, and we're going to have to support that for sure.
And then don't forget, on Saturday, it's UAB in town, and they're a little bit down from a year ago, but they got the Tigers. I know this is a nice payback for the seniors on your team.
Yeah, UAB is an old rivalry game that I used to play in back when I played. I remember the guy Stanley Roberts when he was there. There was always a battle with UAB, and to be able to play this game again makes me feel good. And like you said, the seniors have an opportunity to get some revenge.
And they are getting better and better as we go. Hey, your first one in the books, buddy.
Yes, thank you, Wallo.
Good job.
I appreciate you.
Memphian of the Year, guys. That's Penny Hardaway. We'll see you right here next Monday night.
Thanks for watching the Coach Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control. The show is supported by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Subway, make it what you want. And AutoZone, from parts to helpful advice, AutoZone has everything you need to get in the zone. AutoZone.